Hey, it's Daz here. We're doing the fourth set of the MSL Group A, Bisu versus Magma. Hopefully you've joined us for the last three games. Pretty exciting leading up to this point. Bisu actually losing to Savior in the first game, quite a shocker, and Magma losing to Zero, bringing us to the losers game. And this should be a pretty exciting game because you got to imagine that Bisu is going to be on the warpath after losing a PvZ. Especially considering he handpicked this group, basically 3 Zergs for him to eat alive. So I think Bisu's going to come storming out and basically ravage this poor Eastro Zerg player.
Yeah, you know, if it was maybe a decent player, you know, I might fear that Bisu might be going on a slump. I mean, really, this is what happened to Savior. Savior was just on the top. He lost to this Bisu guy who he was a total favorite against. And then he just spiraled out of control, and he's at where he was at before. I wouldn't say where he's at now, because he's definitely looking in form. But hopefully this doesn't happen to Bisu. But I mean, these two players are just a complete joke in this group. So I mean, let's watch Bisu stomp some Zergs. I'm sinking in 2, 1, 0, and we're off. This is Byzantium II again. 3 and 4 set are both played on the same map. It's like we got Magma and the yellow Zerg in the upper right, and Bisu in the red toss in the upper left. The red is a pretty popular in this group. Brownie there?
Is it brown or is it red?
It's red. You have Down syndrome. That was the
apparently
most
I'm colorblind.
color I've ever seen in my entire life.
Holy shit.
Is that SKT uniform brown too?
Yeah, it is. Hold on, man. I'm gonna go call my doctor.
No, I think your monitor's broken. You were definitely right. It was just your monitor's wrong. I see it.
Yeah, well, when I bought this monitor, Magma probably wasn't even playing StarCraft yet.
No.
So
He's probably just some guy on the east that Eastro picked up. Get it? Eastro. They get their players on US East. Ha. So let's see where Bisu scouts. Let's see if his let's see if his map pack PvZ finds Magma right away.
I'm guessing that he's going to scout in the right direction because everyone knows Protoss is mad and balanced.
Oh yeah. Protoss always scouts first. You're a Protoss player. How do you get it? Like, is it just like an inherent map hack? Or do you just like leave your probe on autopilot and it knows where to go? Because Protoss always does that to me.
What I do is there's a few buttons that I press on my keyboard, and then when I press those buttons, the entire map screen is revealed to me.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. That's
like
how
a research that you get
what
at the Nexus or something?
Yeah,
no, that's a Protoss only ability.
Does.
But now see, you guys get Black Sheep Wall, but Terran actually gets Power Overwhelm. When you double click on your siege tanks, then press siege mode, then you just become invincible. So I mean, we get some cheats too.
Yeah. Zerg unfortunately has no cheats, that's why they're getting pretty much known by everybody.
I think that was a 9 pool speed. Sorry for Down syndrome. Was that an overpool speed? Or is that might be an overpool speed.
It was an overpool speed because he's got the second overlord going.
Yeah, that second overlord's already
as you can see.
So
overpool speed is a lot stronger of a build as well. I mean, you're not going to see too much 9 pool speed in the pro level.
I think
speed is just much stronger economically.
If you get overpool speed and they spawn cross spots, you know, yeah, like see Bisu, he got that next stump for the cannons. You know, in close situations, I think you still have to build those cannons first. But in cross spots, I think you can still early next, can't you? Against an overpool? I guess you don't.
No, you have to forge first. You have to forge first against I mean, the only time you can next before forge is against 12 hat. I mean, against a 12 hat. Otherwise, you always have to go forge first. The only question is whether you do cannons before Nexus. And in this case, Bisu chose to get Nexus before cannons, which is pretty ballsy. I mean, I'm sure he has the timing worked out perfectly, and probably if Magma chose to go for it, his Zerglings would have gotten there like half a second after the cannons worked, and they would have gotten thwarted by Bisu.
So that's one thing too. Yeah. You have to keep in mind though, that's a Bisu pro. Like if it was a D+ IC Cup player, you know, yeah, sure, he probably could have sent those Zerglings in. But if his 6 Zerglings leave his base with a Bisu probe there, I mean, his entire base is going to be dead. Like he's going to click over to the screen with his lings, and then he's going to click back, and then his hatchery's going to be gone. Like Bisu's probes are just phenomenal. And wow, Bisu's really scared of this. Yeah, we see Bisu. I mean, he knows he's a huge favorite in this. I mean, building a 3rd cannon this early is pretty much a joke. I mean, if you build your third cannon this early against an overpool and a hatch that you scout, like, I mean, he pretty much is slapping Magma in the face here, saying, I know I'm going to win. I can sacrifice my economy early, which is kind of sad in my opinion.
But also, you have to keep in mind the fact that Magma did overpool and Bisu still went Nexus before cannons, so that just gives Bisu like a big economic advantage right from the start. He can afford to put up a third cannon to be safe and still be ahead economically in the game. Although he like you said, he really didn't need that third cannon. Like if he was trying, you know, to save every penny that he can, he wouldn't have built that. He doesn't need it. And, well, okay, Magma knows he has 3 cannons now, so we'll see if maybe Magma responds by building some extra drones. Who knows? He definitely took a third base. I mean, so he's probably pretty confident that he can defend a third base even being economically behind, even though he's going a pretty quick lair here. And it all depends on what Bisu does at this point, because Bisu lost his probe pretty early to the speedlings. So if Magma decides to do a Mutalisk or a Hydra push, Bisu's got to be ready for it. But I'm sure he will be, because he knows he lost his probe and he's going to play more defensively.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw this out here, and this is probably a lot more theory crafting than it is actual proof that I proved. But one thing I noticed that Bisu built that third cannon, but he also didn't send another probe out. Usually Bisu is really, really intuitive because he's always got that probe out. We see a Spire going up for Magma, so he took that third gas. He's going to go mute. I mean, sure, he's now getting that probe out. He's trying to sneak it out. But, I mean, almost always against higher level Zergs, we see Bisu hide probes around the map and try and sneak and find out what he's doing. But Bisu just built that third cannon. He's just sitting in his base. So, I mean, Bisu's just kind of like, he's almost like conserving his stamina. Because, I mean, he's almost certainly going to have to play another game here. Where Savior, you know, he got out kind of easy. Sure, a game versus Bisu, but he just had one more ZVZ. Where Bisu, I mean, he's going to have to play a game against somebody who's won at least one game. I think he's going to play it against Zero. And he's going to be a little bit drained here. So I think he may be trying to conserve energy, although this may be me just talking out of my ass.
I think that's entirely possible that you are just talking out of your ass. I mean, it could just be the fact that maybe you don't play Protoss versus Zerg very often. Once the Zerg has speed, I mean, there's pretty much no way that you're gonna get a probe anywhere. Like he would have already.
I don't
to
know.
have one
I've
in
seen lots of
position
games.
somewhere.
Exactly. Bisu, I mean, he always has those probes. He hides.
He must have already.
I'm telling you, no, like
if you did that,
you have to keep in mind too. This is Bisu. Sure, you know this isn't you.
That's
I
true.
don't like
He's a
to play
magician.
Protoss with one hand. You got your dick in your other hand on iCup. But Bisu is actually playing two-handed here, and he's actually trying. So I'm pretty sure, you know, if he really wanted to... Yeah, what is this, Protoss trying? But no, 5 cannons.
Normally I just 1A, 2A, 3A, and that works well for me.
Yeah, that's what
I do is I
Protoss
take
does.
my hand off my mouse and use it to 1A, 2A, 3A while keeping my other hand on the nuts. And I can win pretty easily with
it's
that.
pretty strong.
Oh,
Wow,
he just
Bisu.
loses the course.
What was that?
Bisu
I guess he's
falling
paying
asleep
attention to
at the
this other one.
keyboard.
This is the second time this happened, because Savior, you know, it wasn't that blatantly obvious, but Savior really negated his first Corsair too. So I mean,
Yeah.
usually Bisu's signature Sayer DT harass is amazing, but it seems like it's pretty lacking. You know, I guess he's not going for the DTs, of course, but I mean, the Sayer harass has just been not up to Bisu level, I don't think.
But Bisu knows that oh, he caught him. But he's gonna get away before the second one hits it.
Yeah.
He's gonna get to the safety of a cannon. Bisu knows. I mean, it was negated, but Bisu also found out that Magma had an earlier Spire. So not totally useless, but still, it's really kind of a bad play to just lose your first Corsair like that. That's pretty sloppy from Bisu. That's the kind of thing that resulted in him losing to Savior in the first game, and for his sake, I really hope that he pays a little. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you can't really
if he
keep
loses
doing
the
these kind of
Magma, I'll
things.
be upset. Yeah, like I agree with you saying it did something, but I mean, it's Bisu. Like, ideally, you want to get the scout off, get your Corsair alive, maybe do some harassment, but ideally, you want to keep it alive and get the scout off. But still, I mean, he didn't keep it alive. He just, like, it'd be one thing if he attempted or did, like, his Corsair was just sitting there, which, I mean, I guess it really doesn't
Pretty sloppy.
lead to anything, but I don't know. I mean, he could just be not trying, like I said. He could be playing like he does on iCup.
I'm sure he's.
Ouch!
Oh my God! Another Sarah
Wow.
down.
What are you
doing
sure
a pretty
of?
good job with these Scourge. predicting.
I like the tech switch to lurkers. Now that he picked up those Corsairs, you know, he's pretty much up to whatever he wants to do. So it looks like he's going to go for some 3-base lurkers. And he's got a lot of gas.
Magma's
so
doing a macro-oriented game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Getting those lurkers up. You know, he